Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
Hello. So I just thought I'd pop on and give you a bit of a investors update. So that's what this one is really. More to sort of let all you investors know, and all you people that have invested in us as a business, where you stand at the minute. So not too long ago, it was it was a bit grim, to say the least, and I hit a point at which I had to say we're insolvent. We're not exactly, we are past that bit, but not. So remember what I said, we'd be going in and out. So in and out of insolvency means that we can carry on trading, and sometimes I can catch up with what it is that I owe, and sometimes I'm getting behind with what it is that I owe. Investors' payouts are the ones that are at the bottom of the list at the minute, and they're the ones I am behind on, because I'm also behind on other bills, so I would have to pay them first anyway. Now my forecast, after I hit that point and we was in real trouble, my forecast was that after coming up with a couple of ideas, I figured I could probably get out of trouble in about 18 months. Then after another couple of ideas, I thought maybe I could get out of trouble by Christmas even, which would be a bang-on bonus. But now, since coming out with the normal, shall we say the normal COAs, the likelihood is that we could get out of trouble before Christmas. We could get out of trouble maybe, by the end of the summer, maybe by the beginning of the summer, the end of the summer. So around the summertime, but whatever, before Christmas, which is, was my earlier prediction. Now I know there are some of you that don't quite get the COAs and all that. And, excuse me. And I would say, on the one hand, to a point, doesn't really matter whether you get it or not. What matters is it's working. That's what really matters. It's working. You can catch up with understanding it. You can catch up with understanding what it's all about, and understanding the things that you don't understand at the moment. But for the moment, the most important thing that you understand is that even though you don't quite get it, some people, what I'm doing, it's working. It is working. To a point where I'm going to rearrange all of our 50p stock and circulated, I'm talking about, and £2 stock, because I have stock that's sitting there on the shelf, and they're not particularly brilliant sellers because people go out and they find them. The whole enjoyment part of it is that you go and get some change, you look for it, you find what you want, and you find the easiest ones first. So the easiest ones, even though they do sell from time to time, they're not your hot sellers. If I take those off sale and turn them into TGBCH COAs, I will sell all of them. Every single one that I've got down there, I'll sell it within 2 months. That tells me, well, that's the way to go. That is the way for us to go. That will set us apart from everybody else. And we can just do that and list the ones that we've got, and list them all, not immediately. This is where I went wrong with the penny. I listed all the lot with the 200 of each one, all the way through. What I should have done was just list a few of each to start with. Sell them, catch up with the orders, list a few more. So I got myself too many orders. So we'll learn by that, and everything we do, we'll learn by. The important thing is I've now found a way to not only sell every single one that we've got in stock, but every single one that we find from now on. So now John started doing coin searches again a couple of times a week. every single one that he finds, commemorative wise, we saved a lot now. Every single one. And they will start turning over money within the next couple of weeks once I first of all take those specific coins off our site or turn the listings that we've got into those listings. So some are going to come off and some will stay. And this is going to work for us. This is working for us already, so I need to pay attention to it and I need to put more time and effort into it because it is working. To the point, it's working so well that we've got a backlog at the moment of me doing this right now. We've got a backlog of orders. So you must be out of trouble then, you might say. Well, because, you've got to understand that we hit a point where we were going down like a lead balloon. We were just going down at a horrible, horrible rate. And then boof, and then we sort of panned out a bit. We had a few ideas, we changed a few things, we did a few things, we managed to get the money we needed, and we sort of panned out a little bit. And I became honest with all the customers, and so it panned out a little bit. Everybody knows where we are. And then what happened was I started going up a little bit and down a little bit, and up a little bit and down a little bit. Now the ups are when the money's starting to come in, and the downs are because no matter whatever money's come in, it's not quite been enough to pay everything. And so therefore you've gone down, you've gone below again, maybe a bit deeper. Then some money comes in, you start getting up again, but maybe not enough money comes in, and so you go down again. At the moment, I could probably do with about 5 or 10 grand surplus in order to just carry the weight without any stress. That is what I could do with right now. We do have somebody that will likely be putting in around 20 to 25, but that's not happening just yet. It's good news, great news, which I announced a little while ago, but it's not happening just yet. So I could do with about 5 to 10 coming in. Whether that comes in from one person or whether that comes in from a load of different people, but that's what we could do with coming in at the moment right now. And that would carry us over a bit, because all of the ideas that we've come up with, all of the ideas that I've come up with, and not all of them have been mine, I would say 80 to 90% of what we've come up with has worked. There's a few things that didn't work, but most of what we've come up with has worked. We've been backed into so many corners, and we've almost had our legs cut away from under us so many times. But we've managed to keep going and keep going and keep going. And we've managed to come up with other ideas and find a way around things and keep going and keep the money coming in. The fact that people are buying the COAs means the money is coming in. From an investment point of view, that's exactly what you want. Don't worry about me getting in packaged coins and all that. Don't worry about that for now, because we already know what the packaged coin market is all about. We already know that. We don't need to test any waters with that. We know exactly where we are with the packaged coin market. And it's not a very strong position. Being able to get hold of a few coins each time, that's not a strong position. You want me in a strong position. You want us in a strong position. And that is not going to put us in a strong position. The COAs, on the other hand, they're working. They're selling by their dozens, by their 10s and 20s. They are flying. Like I say, so much so, we've got a backlog. Now, as an investor, you might want to pay serious attention to that. Pay serious attention to the people that are coming on the streams and letting you know that they've bought into it. Pay serious attention to that, because as an investor, that's information that you really, really, really want to know. You want to know whether or not we're going to get out of it or not. Because if we get out of it, not only do you get paid, but you get paid handsomely and you make a nice little profit. Thank you very much. If we go under, we know what happens there. So it's in your interest, as well as mine, for us to actually get out of it. And funny enough, we've come up with a few solutions that actually will get us out of it, right out of it. Pardon me. We've only just released the Patreon and joined that, which has set that up for us. Now, you may not put much store in that, but you see, that in itself if it's manipulated and used correctly, can be a source of solving so many problems. That gives us access to a way, a facility of being able to have a regular income coming in every month. And people are liking the idea of the fact that if they're on different tiers, then you know the points that they get when they buy with cash goes up, and the points that they win in giveaways goes up. So you know they're liking all of that, and that is working really good, really well. So our target with Patreon is to try and make sure that we put up we get together and formulate a list of exactly what all of our expenses are, what we have to pay out, what I want to cover in this, and we're going to try and get that covered by Patreon. That's going to be a main objective of mine at the moment, is to put time and effort into that, because if we get Patreon to the right point, we cover all the expenses. We cover all the expenses, then it doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter whether the market's good or bad 1 week, doesn't matter. We've got all of our expenses covered, and if the market is good, then we're actually saving money. So, and we're getting caught up. So my first aim is to get Patreon to a point where it covers all the X's. Please join us on Patreon. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. And anybody that joins us on Patreon, I mean, within the first month or two, they're going to get back all of the money they've spent and more. It's going to be worth more to them than what they're giving us. See what I mean? And this is on purpose because we want to support even more the people that are supporting us right at the beginning of what we need and what we want. The deals won't always be so fantastic on Patreon, probably for the new members, etc., at some point in the future, but we're going to make it really, really good, worth them joining, which it is. And we're also making the giveaways good. They've got rollovers and accumulations and multipliers. And today, now we started the daily shows last Monday. Today is Wednesday, so this is the 8th day that we've done a daily show. Started off at about 20 odd watchers, and it got up to 40, and today we got 51. So that's happening for a reason. That's happening because people are enjoying it. There's no nastiness, there's no unpleasantness, it's just a nice stream, maybe a little bit of moan and groaning now and again. If I have to have a say like I did today, and on odd occasions I will have a say, otherwise I'll talk about other stuff, and we'll have giveaways to break up the ice and tension and let everybody have a bit of fun. That's what it's about. And it's a different kind of community now to what it was before, in some kind of way. I can't put my finger on that, you'll just have to ask someone that's in it. There is a different vibe, there is a different feeling, it is different. And I haven't alienated customers and stuff like that, regardless of what you might have seen and heard. I have given chance after chance after chance after chance, but there were certain things, physical threats being made one kind of another from a certain quarter, and so I put my foot down today in today's stream. If you want to know what that was about, watch today's stream. I'm taking a hard line and a firm line. We've already disabled a couple of people's accounts, so they cannot not only can they not comment on our videos, but they cannot even buy from us. Their accounts are gone. You can't stop people watching your videos, but you can stop people commenting, and I can stop people buying from us. So they're gone. So that, I just wanted to give you a bit of an update and let you know that we are in a strong position for the long term. For the long term, I really don't see a problem. I don't see a single problem for the long term. The short term, my bum's going 50p, 1p because I'm going to say I'm good sometimes, but I'm not a miracle worker, and you know I can't always solve the short term. I could do with a bit of help for the short term. I could do with a bit of, say, 5 to 10 coming in order to help me with the short term, and I'll take that in £25 lumps or bigger on either the yearly investment, or if you'll trust me with that, or on the 10 times a mint fund. But that's what I could do with right now, is 5 to 10 to sort out the short term. Help me sort out the short term. I've got the long term covered for all of us, totally covered. So thanks very much. and any issues, you know where I am. This has been Ian, www.greatbritishcoinhunt.com.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day.